Okay, this is number 59. You have 2x to the 1/3 times x minus 2 to the 2/3 minus 5x to the 4/3 times x minus 2 to the negative 1/3. Okay, so this one is kind of one of those bigger ones where you have two big terms. Here's a term right here, and here's a term right here. Okay, so you're going to look at those two terms and see what you have in common. Okay, I'm going to change here to my blue. So looking at the 2, I go to the 2. There's no 2 in here, so we're good. X to the 1/3, x to the 4/3. Take out the smaller number, so 1/3 is the smaller exponent. So you have x to the 1/3 that you're taking out. Okay, when you take that out, it's completely gone from this one. That's just a 1. And then you're dividing it out, remember. So if I want to come over here, x to the 4/3 divided by x to the 1/3, that means I'm subtracting the exponent, so 4/3 minus 1/3. That gives you x to the 3/3, which is just x. Okay, so I'm going to cross this exponent out and put a little x to the 1, just so I remember that's a 1 right there. Then I'm going to look at the next part. I have x minus 2 right here to the 2/3 and x minus 2 to the negative 1/3. So the smaller number is x minus 2 to the negative 1/3. Okay, so when I take it out of this one, you're doing x minus 2 to the 2/3 divided by x minus 2 to the negative 1/3. So I'm doing 2/3 minus negative 1/3. Okay, that turns into a plus. 2/3, so that should be a third. 2/3 plus 1/3 is 3/3. So this one is just left with x to the first power. And then this one, you've divided it out, so that's gone. Okay, so now I've taken out all the common factors on that one. Put a big bracket and write everything that you see left. So I see a 2. I see an x minus 2. I still have this minus. Don't forget about that minus. It's still there. I have a 5, and I have an x. And then this one is just 1, so I don't need to put it. Okay, now I want to simplify that. So x to the 1/3 times x minus 2 to the negative 1/3 times, and then factor that in, or distribute it in, 2x minus 4 minus 5x, which gives me x to the 1/3 times x minus 2 to the negative 1/3 times negative 3x minus 4. Okay, so this is good. This is completely factored. You've factored everything out. This is an answer. Okay, but we don't really like to have, if it asks you to simplify, or if we ask you to simplify it on a test, negative exponents are not typically the simplest form of what your answer is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that negative exponent. So right here, where I have a negative exponent, that needs to go to the bottom. Okay, so I have a new fraction, x to the 1/3, negative 3x minus 4, and then that's over x minus 2 to the positive 1/3, because we moved it to the bottom. Let me fix that. To the positive 1/3. So this is really, if you factor it in your calculator, you'd probably get an answer like this. It may also take out these negatives right here. So you could pull that out if you want and put the negative in the very front. Negative, oh, sorry, there you go. Negative x to the 1/3 times 3x plus 4 over x minus 2 to the 1/3. Okay, so really this would be probably the simplest form if you need to simplify it completely. Both of these are factored versions, and they're completely factored. So I'm not sure what the answer in the back of the book looks like, but either one of these three would be an appropriate answer for that one.